7 o'clock.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this evening class on step by step to meditative absorption. And so I'm Wai Chong, and one of the resident teacher here at Vajrayana Institute. And this is this evening is my first time live streaming on YouTube. And those of you who are tuning in, you're most welcome to post your comments, your feedback, your questions on the live chat. I will look at them and I'll try to answer them or incorporate them as we go along in this evening's class. So this particular course, which I've been going on for quite a few sessions, in this course, I'm looking at a particular type of meditation that we call calm abiding meditation, or meditation for cultivating meditative absorption. And I'd like to begin with just to review the different points and materials that I've covered so far in this course. And so calm abiding, as the name implies, is a state whereby we have, through meditation, calm the different disturbance of our body and mind, the agitations, the discomfort in the body, the excitations, the monkey mind. So we have calm all the different disturbances and hindrances, and we are able to, our body and mind are able to come back here and now to abide peacefully, blissfully on whatever it is that we are meditating on, that we are focusing our attention on. And this state of calm abiding, or shamatha in Sanskrit, is an important aspect of the Buddha's teaching, and also an important aspect on our meditation journey. When we're able to achieve even a similitude of calm abiding, we suddenly discover or recognize how powerful our mind is, and also how often in our daily life we lay waste to the potential and the power of our mind, simply by preoccupying our attention with many things, most of which are not so important to us in the long run. We scatter the energy of our mind. We fragment our mind itself. And so you'll find that through the practice of calm abiding meditation, we heal those fragmentations, those separations, so that all the different aspects of the mind, all the different functions of the mind and the body come back together, and so that they can function harmoniously together. And when we are able to allow that to happen, we gathered all the right conditions for that to happen, we discover how incredibly powerful our mind is. A mind that is undistracted. It's a mind that is has so much clarity, so much alertness, and yet at the same time is accompanied by this sense of great sense of ease and pleasure and comfort. It's an absolutely wonderful, blissful state to be in. So how do we go about achieving it? What are the conditions we need to gather or to create in order for us to be able to enter and abide within a state of calm abiding? So that's what I have been presenting over the last few sessions. And one way to summarize it is to look at in terms of the different way we applied mindful attention. So we start with mindfulness of body, and that is the fundamentals, the basic. By returning our attention, our mind to our own body, to bodily sensations, reconnecting mind with body, we begin the process of helping, first of all, the body, physical body, to settle down, to settle comfortably into whatever meditation posture we have adopted, to start the process of unwinding and loosening up. Just let go of all those unnecessary tightening and contractions, which we carry with us almost all the time, where we a lot of this holding and contractions are our physical response to stress, stressful situations, circumstances in our life, and we somehow get fixated on them, and we carry them with us throughout the day, or weeks, or months. And so the first step in meditation practice is to undo those tensions, those unnecessary tensions, those unnecessary contractions. And the conditions for that undoing, that loosening, is so simple. It's just to be mindful of our own body, to reconnect attention with bodily sensations, just a light touch, no great effort, no need to try hard, and definitely no need to try harder. Just simply come back and be in touch with our own body, noticing some tingling sensations here or there, feeling of pressure, feeling of warmth or coolness, hardness, softness, ease, comfort, or areas of discomfort. Just like that. And you'll find that the body, with its own innate wisdom, can initiate and continue this process of unwinding, of settling down. So mindfulness of body is the first condition we try to create and cultivate for ourselves. And if we are able to do that well, naturally, as a product, effect of bringing mindful attention to our own body, we facilitate the arising of pleasant feelings from within our meditation. Pleasant feelings, quite often feelings of relaxation, of softening, of easing, that comes from the release of physical tensions and holdings. When our mind is able to experience pleasant sensations within meditation, and we give attention to them, we allow them into our awareness. When the mind is in touch with simple pleasures, a powerful message is sent to our mind. Everything is okay right here, right now. After all, just think, if our life is in danger, things are really not okay, that's where we experience pain and so on. Of course, it's natural that our mind will find it hard to calm down. Our mind may tend to get agitated as well. Our mind is all worked up, trying to problem solve. But when the reverse happens, we notice physically relaxation, ease, softness, and some wonderful feelings going on here. Of course, the mind says, "Oh, well, maybe I don't have to work so hard. Maybe things are going okay." And that really go a long way to calm the mind. That starts the process of calming and settling our mental reactivities. Not completely, but we start to ease up, letting go some of those mental reactivities, mental agitations. So that is mindfulness of feelings. So the second conditions we cultivate, and it will arise naturally. From mindfulness of body leads to mindfulness of feelings. And in particular, we highlight pleasant feelings coming out of meditation. Of course, we have to acknowledge that sometimes, quite often, there might be uncomfortable, unpleasant sensations as well, unpleasant feelings, within the body and mind. And those unpleasant sensations, we can acknowledge them. We acknowledge that they are here, and we allow them to be, because they don't necessarily go away easily. We just create the space for them to just be for the time being. But nonetheless, try to highlight to ourselves the pleasant sensations in our meditation. So I often suggest allowing ourselves to enjoy our meditation. And those of you who have been attending this class and similar classes with me I often say that it's very rare these days when people kind of put the word enjoyment together with meditation. You're almost not expected to enjoy your meditation. It's good for you, but you aren't expected to enjoy it, which is such a waste, I think. It would be wonderful, not only that meditation is good for you in many ways, but the fact that meditation is enjoyable for you. Wouldn't that be nice? And you'll find that the moment you yourself appreciate the enjoyment of your meditation, it will be so much easier for you to come back to it the next time. Right? So mindfulness of feelings, in particular, pleasant feelings that come out of your meditation. And when you're able to accomplish, to some extent, these first two applications of mindfulness, returning your attention to your body and also attending to pleasant sensations coming out of meditation, this would have gone a long way to settle your body and your mind, to really help body and mind to release unnecessary tensions and agitations, and really calm the body and mind. Now, having calm to your body and mind in meditation, then naturally, without you having to do anything special, you become more aware. Of course, you'll be aware of the state of your body. You've already been practicing mindfulness of body, but you also become more and more in tune and sensitive to the states of your mind, in the sense that you are more aware how your mind is doing. What are the factors or the conditions or qualities that are affecting your mind? For example, you might find it easier to notice and to be aware that, oh, my mind is feeling more and more drowsy, or I think my mind is very agitated today, or my mind seems to be constantly thinking about the same thing. So these sort of observations will come naturally to you because you are developing a greater mindful awareness of your own mind, and also what are the things that are influencing or affecting the functioning of your mind from one moment to another. And this is the third conditions, mindfulness of the mind itself. So under mindfulness of the mind, we have talked about being mindful of the presence of hindrances to our meditation. Quite often people like to talk about hindrances right at the beginning of their meditation. We might find ourselves getting very frustrated or upset with the fact that we might tend to fall asleep when we start to meditate, or we may find it quite distressing to notice how agitated our mind is. Our attention tends to wander off, all over the place. It doesn't really stay with wherever it is we are meditating. I think it's very important at the beginning to not get upset with ourselves, not get frustrated, not to regard our meditation practice, if we do encounter such hindrances, as a failure. In fact, if we do notice it very early in the meditation, I see them as an indication that we need to not meditate harder, but we need to take care of our body and mind. We need to look into the conditions, that are most helpful and supportive of our body and mind in meditation. And what are those conditions? So we go back and we look at mindfulness of body. For example, is the posture I have adopted suitable for me? Suitable for me in this session on this day? Because there are, things change, conditions can change, and then mindfulness of body in the sense that have I taken some time, at least at the beginning, to reconnect mind with body, return the attention to my own body, to help the body to ease up a bit, to start to loosen up. So mindfulness of body, and then mindfulness of feelings. Do I allow myself the space, the possibility of enjoying my meditation, to welcome any pleasant sensations that come out of my meditation? however mild or transient those feelings, maybe they don't stay long at the beginning, but no matter how brief or how weak they are, if they arise, why not welcome them in, let them in, allow yourself to notice them, to appreciate them while they're here before they fade and disappear. So if we take the time at the beginning to create the two conditions through practicing mindfulness of body, mindfulness of feelings, you will find that that really help you to settle into your meditation. And then that really ease your way into your meditation. And before you know it, you arrive at mindfulness of the mind. You become really in tune and become very sensitized, and you say, oh, I think I must be very tired today. My mind seems very sleepy, very drowsy. Oh, poor thing. Maybe have enough rest lately. Or maybe you notice the mind is very busy today, this session, and you say, wow, I'm really upset by that particular event. I find myself keep going back to it again and again, in meditation and maybe also outside of meditation. So you find that if we take the time to practice the first two types of mindfulness, it goes a long way to help us to work with the mind and the hindrances that arise. Under mindfulness of the mind is often advised to not only do we need to learn how to notice the presence of the hindrances such as attachment. That's when we get very agitated in relation to things that we view as pleasant or things that we regard as sources of our happiness. And so we have this kind of holding and clinging mind towards them. The other hindrances is aversion, like in the form of anger or hatred, where the mind is very agitated, like boiling water. We are very upset about certain person or situation. Those are two hindrances. There are five altogether. Another one is what we call restlessness and worry. They say you can call anxiety. That's when the mind cannot be still, cannot be settled. It's very unsettled, actually. So it's always jumping here and there. Restlessness, very restless, a lot of worries, a lot of anxiety. That is the third hindrance. The fourth is what we call lethargy and laxity, which is really the opposite. The mind and body feels very heavy, lack of energy, lack of brightness, alertness. Everything is very dark, very dull. So there's lethargy and laxity. And the last hindrance is really doubt. Doubt can be related to confusion. You are not able to, you can't make up your mind. You don't know what is the right thing to do. You're indecisive. You're overwhelmed by the uncertainty of the situations. You're at a loss. You find your attention wavering, moving from one option to another, and you simply couldn't make up your mind. So those are the hindrances. Not only do we need to learn under mindfulness of the mind to notice their presence, but also it's important to notice their absences. And that is interesting, isn't it? You normally don't, but after you've been tormented by one of these hindrances for a while, you really appreciate when you notice their absence. Hey, that unwelcome guest isn't here today in my meditation. How wonderful that is. It's almost like a kind of freedom, a kind of liberation, so to speak. Wow, I don't have to deal with it. He is not here. Isn't that wonderful? Yeah. So that is mindfulness of the mind. Yeah. So last week I talked about, previously we learned about hindrances, learned about how to be aware of them, how to work with them. What happened after we have sort of managed to work with the hindrances? We have managed to reduce their influence on our mind. How to go deeper into our meditation practice. So last week I talked about two other steps that we can apply when the mind has settled down relatively, a bit more. We have worked through some of those hindrances, what really helps to bring all the energy of our attention together? What really helps to heal all those fragmentations and get everything to come together more and more together and work more and more harmoniously? What is the attractor, the thing that really attract the energy of our attention and get it to come back and gather on whatever it is we are meditating? Let's say the breath. What is some of the key conditions we need to cultivate? So last week I talked about very important to learn how to gladden the mind, uplift the mind, to provide the mind with a sense of happiness, a sense of, you can talk about it as pleasures also, a very deep, powerful sense of pleasure. Pleasures that is strongly associated with your meditation. And you'll find that is like a magnet. It's like, of course, think about it this way. Most of our life, most of the things we're doing or we're putting energy in, what are we doing it for? We're doing it so that we can be happy. We're looking for happiness. We're trying to find it, bring happiness into our experience. So if you somehow manage in your meditation to uncover happiness, voila, it's here in your meditation. What's going to happen to your attention? Of course, it's going to come back. Forget about the computer game. Forget about my favorite TV drama. I'm not interested in that. Right here is something really nice and juicy and wonderfully fulfilling and satisfying. It's all going to come back. All the energy of your attention is going to gather back. All the scattered energy is gathering back. If you can find that happiness, the sense of joy in your meditation. So this is a step where we learn how to gladden, uplift the mind, and really make that pleasure of your meditation a key component of gathering your attention. And once you are able to do that, the next step comes naturally. How to steady the mind. So then when the mind comes back and get it, how does it? Well, it stays. Your attention rests steadily on wherever it is you are meditating on. Steady as in it's not wobbly, it doesn't stop for a while and then go off one direction and go off the other direction. No, it just come back and really abide steadily on your meditation object. Right? So gladdening the mind, uplifting the mind, providing the mind with an inner source of happiness, of joy in your meditation, and then steadying your attention very firmly and naturally, effortlessly on your meditation object, on the source of that happiness. When you're able to do these two steps, then it's just a matter of time, where bit by bit, all those scattered energy or attention that is here and there, they all come back. And you'll find that your body and mind enter into a state of absorption. So that is what I've been talking about. So I thought maybe now is a good time. You're most welcome to post some questions if you have, or comments in the live chat. Why don't we do a short meditation at this moment, and to just test out some of these ideas that I have reviewed, I've covered previously. And I'd like to highlight, if you can, the role that pleasures play in this kind of meditation. Pleasures that come out of the meditation. How that those pleasant feelings, pleasant sensations can go a long way to really help us to enter into deep meditative absorption. So as we go through this meditation, which is what I call touch and release, whereby I invite you to return your attention to different parts of your body, just with a light touch, no need too much effort, at the different spots in your body, the crown, the forehead, the throat, right shoulder, and so on. pretty slow, but at each place, just rest your attention there with your mind, and breathing in, synchronize with the breath, be in touch with the sensations, and with breathing out to deepen the feeling, the possibility of release. Now, as we go through the body from crown to feet, at any point of time during that process, anything pleasant, however mild, usually it's not anything spectacular, but however mild, pleasant feelings, in a sense of relief, in a sense of relaxation, softening happens. Please welcome that feeling into your meditation, into your awareness. Make it a part of your meditation, and really allow yourself to enjoy those feelings while they're here. You're most welcome to ignore me. I might go on, but it doesn't matter. Don't worry what Wai Chong is talking about. Just stay and enjoy those feelings. Allow those pleasant feelings to exert a really positive effect on your body and also on your mind. Okay, so let's give it a try and see what happens. And so if you want to join me in meditation, now is the time to place your body in a suitable meditation posture, sitting, lying down on your back, whichever works best for you, in the privacy of your home and room. Adopt a comfortable posture. Make sure that your back and spine is comfortable, upright if you're sitting, or straight if you're lying down. And I'll just ring this bell to signal the beginning of this meditation. So take a few moments to allow your body to find its way into the posture you have adopted in meditation. Take care that the back, your spine feels comfortable in this posture. Rest your hands and arms on a suitable support, on your knees or in your lap if you're sitting, on the floor by your side if you're lying down on your back. Turn the palms upwards, facing the ceiling if you can. Introduce a feeling of openness into your meditation through your posture. Eyes, I usually suggest people to close them completely. It's the easiest. You can also leave them open or half open, whichever works best for you. See if you can, within this posture, allow yourself to be aware of sensations coming through at the points of contact between body and seat, body and ground. And really allow your body to feel, to be aware that it is resting on a solid, firm, and stable support. And that the posture is one that will provide the body with balance, with support, and safety. So this is the first step of acquiring a seat for our body meditation. And next we're going to spend quite a bit of time on the second step, helping or easing body and mind into meditation, letting go of other things that might be preoccupying them. We're going to do so through a meditation that I call touch and release, synchronized with our natural breath. So I invite you on an in-breath to return your attention to your body, starting at the crown, so that with each in-breath, you are in touch with sensations at that part of your body. And with each out-breath, you can mentally say the word release. We facilitate a process of release of unnecessary physical tensions and mental agitation. So starting at the crown, synchronize with your natural breath, just with a light touch. As you sense an in-breath, see if you can be aware, be in touch with sensations at your crown. And with an out-breath, see if you can, with the word release, remind body and mind to release. At the crown, breathe in, be in touch. Breathe out to release at your own pace. And then we release our attention from the crown, allow the attention to travel forward and downwards to the forehead. Pick a spot between the eyebrows with a light touch, not much effort. Breathing in, be aware of sensations at your forehead. Are you tensing up the muscles of your forehead? And how about the rest of your face? Notice sensations in the rest of your face. And with an out breath at your own pace, deepen the sense of release. Breathing out, coming back to the breath. See if you can persuade the muscles of your face to relax, to let go, so that you can welcome in a feeling of softness, of ease and comfort into your own face. And then allow attention to travel down to the throat, again with a light touch, with not much effort. Breathing in, just allow yourself to be aware of sensations at the throat, sensations at the neck. Breathing out, once again, remind body and mind to release. Don't feel you have to do anything to make that release to happen. You are just simply saying the word release in your own mind, facilitating that process. And then moving on, allow your attention to alight at the right shoulder. Pick a spot at your right shoulder. As you breathe in, tune into sensations there at the right shoulder. As you breathe out, release. Moving on, down to the right elbow. Breathe in, be in touch with sensations here. Out and release at your own pace at the right elbow. And then moving further down to the right wrist. Breathe in, be in touch, be aware of sensations, subtle sensations at your right wrist. Out and release. Allow awareness to flow into the right hand so that as you breathe in, you are in touch with sensations in your right hand, the palm, the back of the hand, the fingers, all the way to the fingertips. And as you breathe out, release. See if you can release the weight of your right arm. Just allow the entire arm to rest comfortably on its support. Switching side, rest your attention now at your left shoulder. Breathe in, be in touch, out and release at the left shoulder. Moving down to the left elbow, touch and release at your own pace. Feel free to stay longer at the spot. Move ahead of me if you know the sequence. There's no need to follow what I said to the letter. Moving further down your left arm to the left wrist, touch and release. Allow your attention to flow into the left hand so that now you are in touch with sensations here. As you breathe in, be aware. As you breathe out, deepen the sense of release at the left hand. See if you can give permission, allow the weight of your left arm to rest comfortably on its support. Throughout this process, at any point of time you notice anything pleasant, mildly pleasant, or even interesting, weird, tingling sensations, vibrations, warmth, coolness, welcome them in. Allow yourself, your mind, to enjoy them, to appreciate them while they're here. Coming back to the body, now resting your attention at the chest, at the center of the chest, at the heart center. Breathe in, be in touch, be aware. Out and release at the heart center. Moving further down, let your attention descend to your abdomen, somewhere just below your navel, inside the body. Breathe into this spot to be aware of sensations here, deep in your abdomen. Breathe out to release. Let your awareness descend all the way down to the base of the spine, to the tip of your tailbone, right in the center of your pelvis. Breathe in, be aware of sensations here. Breathe out and release. As you breathe out, imagine releasing the weight of the pelvis. Allow it to settle comfortably on your seat, on the ground. Extend attention now down the right leg, starting from the right hip joint. Just pick a spot, don't have to be exact, at the right hip. Breathe in, be aware of sensations at the right hip. Breathe out, release. Moving down to the right knee. Breathe in, be aware of sensations here at the right knee. Out and release at your own pace. Move down to the right ankle. Touch and release at your own pace. At the right ankle. And then into the right foot, touch and release. Imagine releasing the weight of your entire right leg. Just allow it to rest comfortably on the floor on its support. Now switching to the left side, starting at the left hip joint. Breathe in, be in touch, out and release. Move your attention to the left knee, touch and release at your own pace. Moving further down to the left ankle, touch and release. Let attention flow into the left foot so that you aware sensations here as you breathe in, release as you breathe out. See if you can release the weight of your left leg. Allow it to rest comfortably on its support on the ground. Rest your entire body in this posture. Allow the body to continue a process of unwinding, of loosening up, of settling down. Rest your mind, your attention on the breath. Come back again and again and be in touch with the breath sensations throughout the body. And whenever you notice an out breath, see if you can deepen the sense of release. So coming back, returning your attention to your support, the breath. Feel free to do that again and again, not to be discouraged, to be frustrated. Each time you come back and touch base with the breath sensations, make use of the out breath to deepen a sense of release, physically, mentally, and allow yourself to appreciate, to highlight any pleasant sensations that come into your meditation. Welcome them in, enjoy them while they're here, and let them go when they fade. And then finally, we dedicate that may anything good or positive that come out of this meditation, that may they somehow stay with us, linger in our body and mind, so that they can continue to benefit us. Okay, so I do welcome if you have any questions or comments to type it into the live chat, and I see whether I can answer them or attend to them. So today I want to explain a little bit about calm abiding, what it is, and also share with you some of my ideas about how realistic it is for us to achieve or to aim for a state of calm abiding in this modern day and age, especially for most of us who are living quite a fairly busy lifestyle, keeping maybe a full-time job and so on. So calm abiding traditionally is actually a term, or shamatha is a term referred to a specific state of mind that we achieve on our meditation journey. So it's like a particular state, quite well defined. Some people actually call this access concentration, ACCESS, access, like a doorway, like threshold. If you arrive at calm abiding, to arrive at it, you have to cross a threshold. And before that threshold, before calm abiding, in Buddhism, we describe the mind as belonging to the realm of desires, which is where we are now. We are, as human beings in the world, our day-to-day life, we are sort of preoccupied with different kind of desires, different kind of wanting, needs, and so on. So there is a pervasive sense of, maybe even a subtle sense of discontent, dissatisfaction. I think it's also a nature of our modern economy that there is a need to manufacture discontent in order to get us to continue to buy, to consume. Yeah. And so contentment is not necessarily such a great virtue in modern economy. Yeah. And so that is the current state where we are. And through the practice of meditation, through learning to work with our hindrances, to learn to let go of them, let go of their influence on our mind and body, we can actually arrive at a place or a state where the mind is well and truly content and at peace. And the mind is able to enjoy a sense of bliss or happiness that is generated from within. And this is the bliss or happiness, not just of the mind, but also of the body. So there is a physical aspect to it and a mental aspect of it. When all this come together, the mind is totally at peace and content with what is happening here and now within ourselves. And our attention, the energy of our attention, come back and be totally balanced. And all the different factors within our mind are functioning harmoniously. So there is no imbalance. There is no occasion where it's too much energy and we are too agitated. Nor do we have too little energy, and that's when the mind becomes overwhelmed with downness, or laxity, as we call it. And so calm abiding marks the threshold or the doorway to even deeper states of absorptions, states of meditative absorptions. And all these states are characterized by full engagement of our attention. Our attention is free from distraction, and they are accompanied by different qualities or different characteristics, usually different qualities of pleasant experiences. And of course, the deeper we go, eventually even pleasure is a bit too coarse, too gross, and the mind put aside pleasure and are happy in a sense to dwell in a feeling of neutrality, a feeling of peace. Yeah. So those are deeper states of meditative absorption, which I might introduce next week. But today we want to talk about that doorway, the doorway which marks from where we are now and where we can experience even deeper states of absorptions. That doorway, at least in the Tibetan Buddhist presentation, is called calm abiding or shamatha. And usually, when I learned about it in the traditional sources, it's not so easy to achieve calm abiding. We do need to gather quite special conditions. For example, there's quite a stringent requirement on environment. Because do need quite a quiet, conducive environment. Also, we also need to make changes to our lifestyle, to our behavior. We actually need to simplify our life. We need to engage in less activities. If we are always busy, not just busy with many activities, but busy with very different kind of complicated activities, dealing with a lot of people, a lot of situations, a lot of uncertainty every day. Those kind of activities, of course, affect our mind, affect the functioning of the mind. And confronted by all those ever-changing activities, you find that, of course, it's very hard to settle or calm the mind or to achieve a state of calm abiding. Hence, traditionally, to achieve calm abiding, we need to create the conditions, conducive conditions. And it also takes quite a bit of investment of energy and time to cultivate that quality, that state of mind. So almost like we have to keep repeating, and we have to enter into many sessions of meditation. And another characteristic of calm abiding, as a sign of its great stability, is the ability to meditate for long duration. And long is like 4 hours in one session, one long 4-hour sit. Okay, so just that alone give you a kind of an idea of the challenge involved in achieving calm abiding. Not so easy, isn't it? And in fact, in this day and age, in our modern times, strangely enough, even though we are supposed to have more leisure and quite a few of us are more affluent, it's actually quite hard to find the conducive meditative conditions for us to enter into the practice and to achieve calm abiding. So quite often in the Tibetan Buddhist tradition, this entails us to enter into fairly long, quite often solitary retreats, where we really devote the bulk of the time and energy in each day to cultivating a meditative practice in order for us to achieve a state of calm abiding. So let's say you do 3 or 4 sessions of meditation a day. Each one lasts at least, let's say, 2 or 3 hours, and that's the whole day gone. No, so it's very hard to be working, to be looking after your family, to do all your household chores and manage all the other complexity of modern living, and keep up an intensive meditative practice. So it's true to say that it's quite difficult for us, for most of us at least, to even get the right conditions for us to achieve calm abiding. But if you know me, you've attended some of my teachings before, I often suggest people, the secret to happiness is to start with a lower standard. Okay, so maybe this way of presenting calm abiding is pretty high standard, and pretty have stringent conditions and requirements. But is it possible for us to consider something a lot more accessible, a lot more available for most of us who probably can only afford a short time each day, maybe not every day, but at least on a regular basis, a short period of time, to cultivate a meditation practice, let's say half an hour, a few times each week. So what is, given our limitations, current limitations, then what is possible for us? What can we aim for? Is it, so since maybe we say, well, half an hour, 3 times a week, maybe that is not enough to achieve this description of calm abiding, the actual state of calm abiding. So then I'm a hopeless case. Then maybe I should just give up and just forget about it. It's not possible. But I think, hold on, let's not be too hasty about it. Maybe instead of saying, oh, I'm a hopeless case, so I wouldn't even bother to start, I wouldn't bother to try. Maybe, that would be a pity, because to just sort of chuck out, as they say, chuck out the baby with the bathwater. Maybe we can reconsider the whole scenario and think of it from a different point of view, different perspective, and ask ourselves, hey, is there something that I can do, given my current limitations and my current limitation to my energy, to my time, to the opportunity I may have for meditation? But given those limitations, what is realistic? What can I achieve? So I like to offer people this idea that we can achieve, even us, being so busy, may be able to achieve a similitude of calm abiding. If you lower, or you start, I usually actually, you start with a lower standard. Don't start so high and then feel that you need to pull it down. Instead, think the other way around. Let's start with something lower, but still good, still better than where we are at. Start with a lower standard, and something that, if we do achieve it, is already a wonderful plus addition to our life. Is there such a state? I think there is. In fact, some people chance upon it very early in their meditation journey. The mind is so fascinating. Actually, the potential for us to enter into states of absorption has always been here with us, if the conditions are right. So that's my basis. If somehow I'm able to bring those conditions, favorable conditions, together. Now, I sometimes call this wobbly kind of concentration, because our foundation is not so firm. We really haven't spent that much time and effort in developing and cultivating such the habits of concentration, but we are working on it. So if I'm able to bring those favorable conditions together, and they're able to stay together, let's say for 10 minutes, out of 25 minutes or half an hour, I can get them to come together for 10 minutes. And then in that 10 minutes, there is something really different in my meditation experience. So maybe before I enter into this state of what I call similitude of calm abiding, my mind is all over the place, doing its usual chatting, commenting, busyness, ruminating. But then when the conditions come together, suddenly, hey, it's so much quieter inside here. The thoughts are less compulsive. Maybe there's some thoughts, but they are not so compulsive. They don't immediately hijack my attention. I can allow them to just sort of be here, come and go in the space of my mind, but they don't affect me so much. And in fact, I feel my mind in those 10 minutes so much calmer, more peaceful, even blissful sometimes. And most importantly, there's no effort. I'm not forcing myself to be in this state. It's just sort of almost like I just slide into it. And I just stay there. I don't know, not always sure why or how, but it happens. And I just allow myself to enjoy it while it's here, and appreciate how incredibly different this experience of settling, calming, or gathering of attention can be. And of course, as I said, it's wobbly because the foundations are not so stable. Then after 10 minutes, it starts to wobble a bit more, and then it fall apart. And then you can know actually when you've gone through it that the experience of calmness is over. You're back to your coming out and up to your usual states of function. The mind starts to get a bit busy again, or you feel different. Then okay, the good part of the meditation is over. Yeah. Wouldn't it be nice, if we allow ourselves that possibilities? That in not every session, of course, ideally it would be wonderful if it happens every session, but some of my sessions, I allow myself to entertain this possibility that out of 30 minutes or 25 minutes, maybe there's 10 minutes. Not at the beginning, but maybe somewhere in the middle, as I settle into. There are 10 minutes where conditions come together, and I am able to experience a state of relative calm, stillness, and often accompanied by a sense of some pleasure, some form of pleasure, and I'm able to abide in it effortlessly, and quite often also without a strong sense of the passage of time, or at least our sense of time passing is distorted. We're not quite sure how long or how short we solve. In a way, we lose track of time in our meditation. And I think that is actually very doable for many of us. The first and most important condition is to allow ourselves that possibility. And strangely enough, it is usually the beginners to meditation that experience such states, more so than the so-called experts. People like me who done a lot of study or who receive a lot of information about meditation, we accumulated what we call knowledge, intellectual knowledge of meditations. Because as you say in Zen, in the beginner's mind, there are infinite possibilities. In the expert's mind, there are very few. The more we know about certain things, sometimes we get a certain view, we form certain view and opinions, and those views and opinions become limited. If I learn about calm abiding and I never think too much about it, I might say, well, since I'm not in solitary retreat, I'm not in 1 year solitary retreat, I'm not meditating 8 to 12 hours a day, then that's it. I will never experience calm abiding. So if that's my thought, that's my idea, my view, then of course I don't look out for anything similar. And of course I already prejudge myself and my own experiences. And from my point of view, I thought that would be a great pity, isn't it? If only we start with a lower standard, we might actually find that, hey, now and then, I'm actually able to experience a kind of similitude of calm abiding in my own meditation. Not perfect, but maybe it is possible for someone like me. So that's the first condition, allowing for that possibilities. And then the next is to learning to cultivate the skill, the attitude, learning how to get ourselves there. And so that's what I've been talking about. And to highlight again, I think the most key factor in my own experience is the role of pleasure or happiness in meditation play, and helping us to enter into this kind of similitude of calm abiding. I use the word similitude because, of course, it's not the full-fledged, fully qualified state of absorption that we call calm abiding, but it shares a lot of characteristics with it. And while we are in it, it's really kind of a wonderful state to be in. So why not appreciate it for what it is? And the more we enter into it, the more familiar we are with this kind of experience, the easier it is for us to get back into it. And each time you get back into it, maybe it go a bit deeper, and then go deeper, and before you know it, voila, maybe we arrive at the actual calm abiding. So that's how I think about meditation, especially this kind of meditation of calm abiding or meditative absorption. Okay, and I'm emphasizing first thing is please open your mind and just allow in this possibility that even someone like me can, on occasion, when the conditions are right, enjoy for a short duration, experiences of deep concentration, or quite similar, not the same, but quite similar to calm abiding. It share in some of the qualities and characteristics of calm abiding, right? The second thing I thought to highlight is, and one of the key conditions for us getting there is the role pleasure and happiness play in our meditation. To really appreciate that and to really welcome into our meditation the possibility, right? So there are two types of pleasures that often talk about in relation to calm abiding or meditative absorption. And I know I've mentioned this before. I'd like to mention it again today, and see whether we can explore that. One is called rapture, and the other one is usually it's called happiness, but I like to call it happiness of contentment because I think it's more descriptive. Rapture are unusual sensations, quite physical, and usually very energetic. Right? In fact, quite often I sometimes don't think of it as very pleasant, but it is interesting. Usually it's associated with all this sense of vibrations and tingling, very unusual sensations. So you might have heard me say it, but I'm going to say it again. There are 5 types of rapture. First is called minor rapture that seems to happen only on the surface, the skin. These are when we feel hair standing on end, like goosebumps, down the back, the neck. I also include under minor rapture any kind of tingling sensations, any feeling of buzz. Sometimes we experience it at the fingertips, this buzzing sensations of vibration, of energy. So minor rapture. The next type of rapture is called flash, like a flash of lightning. It's like this sense of current, electric current that sort of just shoots through our body. It's very brief, but quite intense. It comes and just goes. Yeah, flash-like rapture. The third one is called wave-like rapture, which is all these energetic sensations come and go like waves, surges forth and recede and surges forth. Can be affecting one part of your body or your entire body. Fourth type is called uplifting rapture, or this is where you feel very light, like very buoyant, like almost floating. Again, maybe confined to a certain part of your body, or you experience it throughout your body. And the fifth, of course, is more unlikely to experience it early in our meditation, and that is called pervasive rapture, which is all these sensations, energetic sensations, pervades the entire body, and they're very stable, and they change, but they stay around, they hang around. Yeah. So that is rapture, and like what I've been advising and encouraging. Every time you notice this kind of sensation, let them into your awareness. Let them be there, and you just don't have to do anything. Just notice them. Give them your attention. Don't try to increase them. Don't try to do funny things to them. Don't try to make them spread, make them stronger. Instead, just notice them. Just nourish them with the energy of your mindful attention while they're here. That's enough. You are feeding them that way. And you'll find that given time and conditions, they will become more frequent, they will grow, they will change, and they will intensify. The other kind of pleasure to look out for and to really invite in is the happiness of contentment. Very subtle because it's very peaceful, it's not exciting, it doesn't stand out. But there are occasions where we actually feel quite happy to just be here and now, with whatever is happening in our meditation. We are content. We're not looking for anything different. We're not trying to be somewhere else. We are just quite appreciative of what is here. What is here doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't even have to be nice, but we are quite all right. We are okay with it. It's almost like saying, this moment, just this moment, whatever is here is perfect. It's okay. You can just be here because you're already here. Right? And when that mind manifests this quality of content, the mind becomes very at peace. The mind is no longer reaching out for something different, not striving, not struggling against anything. The mind is just at ease and at peace. Right? So this is a different kind of pleasure. So when any of these pleasant sensations arise as a condition to help us to even here and now experience a similitude or calm abiding, please welcome it in and make it a part of our meditation. Okay. So we're going to do meditation together to conclude today's session, and this is what I call good enough meditation. Okay, so after we settle in, maybe we can use the breath as a support to rest our attention on the breath. And now and then, as you do that, I invite you to say to yourself, with regard to whatever you notice in your meditation in this moment, you can say, this is good enough for now. Okay, just like that. This is good. And it's important to specify for now, for this moment. Not forever, but for now, whatever I'm aware of, whatever is here, I'm going to say it's good enough. No, I'm not trying to, I don't have to stir up a sense of struggle, a sense of striving, or a sense of aversion, really. Aversion and resistance to what present themselves in this moment. I'm going to just acknowledge whatever is here and I say, well, maybe this is good enough for now. So it's just a little kind of exploration, almost like a trick, to get us to explore the happiness of contentment and see whether some of it may arise in this very session and become a part of our meditation. All right. So if okay, then let's do a short meditation together and just explore a bit of bringing contentment into our meditation, see whether that facilitates us from entering into, even for a short duration, a state of deeper sense of absorption of attention, a similitude to calm abiding. Okay, so take a few moments, adjust your body into a suitable meditation posture, making sure the back, the spine, the entire length of your spine is comfortable and at ease, that you are not, through the posture, introducing additional pain. You're not deliberately or consciously tensing up your back muscles. That's not necessary. Sitting upright, just move your upper body and just try to help your back to find a position that is most comfortable for it. If you're lying down, just make sure that your lower back is not experiencing any tension. Maybe good to put a cushion under your knees to elevate them while lying down. And make sure that the headrest allow your neck to feel comfortable in this supine position. So take a few moments, just let your body settle back into this your meditation posture. And then to help body and mind to once again shift gears, to enter into meditation, we're going to make use of the breath to help us. So you might want to start with a few deep breaths. Just breathe in and out deeply for a few times. And on and out breath, remember to release. Allow the breath to settle back to its natural rhythm. So by that, I mean you don't have to control the breath. There is no such thing as a perfect breath. So just allow the breath to flow naturally. It could be long or short, it could be deep or shallow, it could be slow or fast, and it's perfectly fine. Rest your attention on the breath sensations throughout the body. Don't feel that you need to focus on the tiny spots to notice the breath. You can simply allow your attention, your awareness to be in touch with that whole wave-like movement of the breath in the body. The sense of the breath flowing in and out, expanding, contracting, rising and falling. Rest your attention on your supports, the breath sensations, without the need to force your mind to stay with the breath. All we need to do, if we do get distracted, is to just invite our mind, our attention, to come back to it, to come back to the breath. And just as before, on that out breath, make use of that opportunity to release. You can even say the word release in your own mind if it's helpful. A reminder to your body that it can release. It can continue to set aside more and more of those unnecessary contractions, tightenings, the holdings in the muscles, and so forth. And we can remind our mind that it doesn't have to follow any thoughts that pop into the mind. We don't have to follow the train of thoughts. We can, as we breathe out, release the words, the images, the memories, the fantasies. Just allow them to flow away with the breath. So coming back to the breath sensations, with each out breath, allowing ourselves, our body and mind, to deepen the sense of release. See if we can release any tensions or tightening of muscles in the face. See if we can allow in a feeling of softness, of ease and comfort into our face. And immediately we feel so much better as the muscles of our face relax, as that feeling of softness enter into our own face. So see if we can, for the next few minutes, simply invite our attention to come back and rest on the breath again and again. And on the out breath, invite a deepening of that sense of release. As we continue to settle our attention back onto the breath again and again, settle the body into the posture. Now and then, try this experiment while we are Your attention is back here and now on the breath with your body. In your mind, repeat this phrase. This is good enough for now. Referencing your experiences in this moment. See if you can try on this response. This is good enough for now. And see what happens. Notice whether your body and mind react to it, and how do you react to it. And try this for a few times. Settle the mind on the breath, deepen the sense of release, and when you feel ready, try on the phrase, this is good enough for now. So coming back to the breath, to your meditation, settling attention on the breath, trying out this interesting phrase regarding good enough. Notice how you react to it or don't react to it. Maybe on occasion, you might actually agree with what you're saying. This moment is really good enough. The body is good enough. The mind is good enough. The experiences of this moment are all good enough. And when that is true, see if you can allow yourself to enjoy that subtle feeling of contentment that might be already here with you. Coming back to the breath, trying out the experiments on the phrase of good enough, you will notice different reaction. Maybe it's not good enough, and that's perfectly fine. Take note of what is not good enough for you in this moment. Fire away, be aware of it, and then return your attention once again onto the breath. And with the out breath, deepen the sense of release. So coming back to this moment, coming back to the breath, try on the response. This is good enough for this moment. This is good enough for now. So coming back to the breath, as you say the phrase, this is good enough for now. Maybe it is not only referring to the conditions of your meditation in this moment. It may even refer to all the conditions and circumstances present in this moment in your life. And is that good enough for now? And then, as usual, we conclude with a simple dedication. We dedicate that may anything good that come out of this evening's session with all our meditations, we dedicate that positive momentum towards the fulfillment of our aspirations, our hopes and wishes for ourselves and also for others. That may anything good that come out of the meditation, the session today, may they stay with us, linger in body and mind, and continue to benefit us. So I hope it's good enough for you. Next week will be the last class of this course, and in that I'm going to look at the deeper states of meditative absorptions, what their characteristics, the qualities. There are actually four. Usually in Pali we call them the four jhanas. In Sanskrit we call them the four dhyanas. They are states of deep absorptions and concentrations. And I'm going to continue in the same vein that maybe we also can accomplish through our practice, even regular practice, even without going on to some long solitary retreat. Maybe we can also experience the similitudes of those kinds of absorptions right here and now within our life, within our own practice. So that's next week. And so thank you very much for tuning in this evening to this class. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll see you next week. So have a good night and goodbye.